Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy to be back here talking with you guys, making another video. It feels like it's been so long, but so much has been going on with me. Yeah, but I'm fine. I'm actually doing pretty well, and I'd like to know if you guys are doing fine too. So if you're listening to this video, you're watching this video now, just drop in the comments I'm fine, Excel, because I want to know, are you doing well? Are you fine? How has things been going for you? Let me know. I'll get into today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about balance, and I feel with the position I'm in right now, or the things that has been going on for me right now, talking about balance is kind of like top notch right now. So I recently got a new job, a 9 to 5, and I work remotely, but it's actually a 9 to 5. So I work during the daytime, 9 to 5. And the only difference is that I work at home and I don't have to go to the office. But what I realized is that since I started working 9 to 5, the first week everything was just a mess. So because I usually get nervous when I'm doing something for the first time, and that's how it was. So I was nervous when I was supposed to be working from 9 to 5. Once I'm supposed to be done with work by 5 p.m., I still have work to do. So I'm still working till 7, till 6. Like I'm still working till later instead of ending by 5. And because of that, that first week was just a mess for me. So during the actual 9 to 5, time is going, I'm not working, and then after 5 p.m. I still have a lot of work to do. So I think balance is the best thing to talk about right now, because this is 3 weeks down and I actually have found a way to balance the entire thing and balance the cycle. And I think one thing that was really important for me to, why it was really important for me to get back on track, is because I have other personal goals, I have other things that I want to achieve, that I want to do with myself, aside just having a job and earning a monthly pay or a monthly salary. And while those other things that I want to do may not be earning me a form of income right now, it's still something that I want to do. So it's pretty important that I don't stop pushing those goals, or I don't stop trying to do those things, or I don't stop doing those things simply because I have a job that is now providing me income. So what was the first step for me in moving out of that cycle of just messing up everything while in away the week, not doing anything aside work, and then realizing at the end of the week that a week has gone by? Wow. I think the first thing was that I had to come to a realization that I was wasting my time. Now, this may seem like too much, like it's deep. You were not wasting your time, you were working. Yes, I get. But it's kind of like, if I had continued like that, months will go down the line and I'll be like, I haven't done this. I no longer do this. I no longer do that. My life is just simply centered around my 9 to 5. And the only times I have to myself are weekends. And that is not the position you want to be. So what made me come to that realization was that my friend told me, Excel, when are you going to write? When are you going to go back to YouTube? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And I'm like, I'm busy, and when I'm not working, I'm sleeping because I don't sleep enough because I have to work late. And my friend is like, is that the excuse you're going to tell yourself a few months down the line, when you could have had a lot more videos on YouTube, when you could have gone this far with that course, when you could have gone this far with that project? Is that the excuse you're going to tell yourself? You're going to tell yourself that you needed more sleep, or you had a 9 to 5. You get me? So it just didn't make sense. I had to wake up. So the first thing was come to realization and wake up. Wake up that whatever is stealing your time, are you going to be confident months down the line to look back and say you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this because of what was stealing your time? I wasn't going to be confident months down the line to say that I didn't complete this project, I didn't go back to YouTube because I had a 9 to 5. A lot more people have 9 to 5s in the world. People have other things they are working on. People juggle projects. So was I just going to let this thing overtake my life and say that this happened because of this and blame it externally? No, I had to come to that realization that I was wasting my time. Moving on from that realization, what was the next thing that happened for me? I think the next thing that happened for me was now understanding all the different spheres, or all the different things I needed to put my attention to. It actually brings me to the point of why it's important to simplify your life. So for me, I actually summarize my life into, okay, I have a 9 to 5, I have work, I have my social life with friends, I have my spiritual life with God, I have YouTube, and I have my writing goals. It's actually pretty simple. Like everything I do falls under this 5 scope. whether it's friends, whether it's writing, whether it's church, whether it's praying, whether it's studying. Whatever I'm doing basically falls under either of these three. I'm either doing it for work, I'm either doing it for spirituality, I'm either doing it for socializing, I'm either doing it for YouTube, or I'm doing it for my personal writing goals. So these five just span the entire things that I'm involved in. And it's actually pretty simple for me. It's a way for me to simplify my life. I just know that this is my scope of understanding, this is my scope of attention, and I need to find a way to make sure these five things happen in a day for me. For that day to be actually fruitful, these five things need to happen in a day. So I think you also need to you also need to simplify your life in that way. Think of all the scope or all the areas you have to pay attention to, sum it up, summarize it into something that's just brief, and then make sure they can all be stacked into one day. I don't want to be cheesy, but I'm going to drop it in the middle. Guys, don't play social distance with the subscribe button. Please subscribe if you like this content, subscribe if you like what I'm talking about, and drop comments and questions. I like to see your comments. It makes me happy. Thank you. When you've been successfully able to do that, then we come to prioritizing. Now for me, I realized that nervousness was stealing the time I should have been working during my 9 to 5, which was now making me work later and losing sleep. So I had to overcome the nervousness. How would I overcome nervousness? For me at work, it meant that in the morning, I would write my entire to-do list of all the deliverables I need to accomplish that day. So once I have that written down, I simply tick it off. As I complete one task, I tick it off. So this way, it was difficult for distraction to steal my attention, because I had everything written down and I felt good every single time I ticked off one thing as done. I felt really good once I ticked off one thing as done. So in that way, it was easy for me to just look at my to-do for the day, complete the to-do before I say, oh, I'm done with work. Then the next thing that helped me fall back into the cycle was arranging the things I needed to do after work. I don't know if you've heard of the term trigger, but I'm going to talk to you about trigger. Trigger is a term in psychology that is part of the process of forming new behavior. So what is a trigger? A trigger is simply an action that sets off a series of other actions. For me, waking up when the sky is bright and blue is a trigger. Once I wake up by 7 or 7:30 and the sky is bright and blue, I immediately stand up from my bed, wash my face, brush my teeth, have my bath. Like, it just goes in that sequence for me every single time I wake up and the sky is bright blue. But if I wake up earlier, like say 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or when the sky is still dark, something else happens. Like, I do something else, something different entirely. But waking up and seeing the blue sky is my trigger for the series of other events that come after. So now I had to find the trigger for once I was done with work. And for me, that was reading. Because I read every day, I read either a chapter or more than a chapter every day. Once I was done with work by 5 or by 6, I would start reading, or sometimes I take a 1-hour break just to transition from work mode to me mode, move from work to Excel mode. So once I do that transition and I start reading, so immediately I start reading. Reading is like a trigger for me. Once I'm done reading, I know I have to write. Once I'm done writing, I know I have to look through my social media. Once I'm looking through my social media, I know how to edit videos, and I know how to edit photos. And then it's 10 p.m. and I'm sure I have completed all I need to complete for that day. So in that way, you should need to find something that will trigger a set of other events for you. And this could also happen by you just arranging all these events side by side. So you need to do this, you need to do that. You just put all of them side by side. So once you complete one, you move to the next. For some people, even an alarm clock or a reminder could be a trigger. Once they hear the sound, once they hear the alarm, it just sets up a series of other behaviors that they take, and then they complete what they need to complete. And the final thing is to repeat. The fact that you do it one day doesn't finish it all for you. The same way you started, you could actually fall out of the wheel. So you just need to repeat. That is the only way there's going to be balance. Now, if you're expecting to tell you things like, oh, it's all right, and I know you're feeling, you can't find balance, let it go, that's how life is, give yourself a pat on the back and rest. You don't need to stress, you don't need to struggle, you don't need to push, you don't need to persist. That's a lie, because everyone who is strong, everyone who has some certain ability, everyone who the entire world reveres, acknowledges, or holds in high esteem for something they've done, actually had to push through persistence, push through self-discipline. They had to subject themselves to certain levels of self-discipline to do certain things before they came out stronger. Even the concept of delayed gratification says that you have to hold back certain things for gratification to come later in the future. In other words, you need to do this every day. Power pack your day with all the important things you need to do, and do it every day so that months down the line you would look back and say it's been a fruitful 6 months for me, it's been a fruitful 2 months, it's been a fruitful year. Like, you actually see the benefits of everything that you have done each day coming together to make a lot more sense. Okay, so that has brought me to the end of this video. I hope you've learned something, because what I also like about sharing these videos with you is that when I talk about these things, it also reminds me and helps me to hold myself accountable, reminds me of all the things I need to do, how I need to stay focused, how I need to not fall out of the bandwagon and the wheel. So I like talking with you guys about these things, so I remember that I should do these things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying to the end. Don't forget, oh my goodness, Excel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.